Hello and welcome to my first edition of Excel tutorial. Today what are we learning today? We're going to learn how to use a search function in Excel 2010 version 14. We're going to be using conditional formatting, and right here we'll see the type of code that we're going to be using. The benefits of this is you'll find this information very useful because now you'll be able to give your search function conditions, which gives you a better search experience, in my opinion. So we'll look at the code and see what it does. If we type in the word, any part of the word, it doesn't matter if it's the whole, if it's all of the word or just part of it. If you just type it in, it will automatically highlight and find that information. It doesn't matter how much of the information you put in there. If you just put 2 letters, it will locate it. And the way that I got this set up, I have it set up to search column A, B, C, and D. In column C, row 3, we have what is called a name. Up here, this is called a name box. And what a name does is a name becomes the identity of a cell. Usually you use this function to simplify how you write formulas within Excel, because it simplifies it. You can group a bunch of information and just have it. This works good like if you're using VB lookup, or in this case a search feature. It works well because now you can identify your formula with that name. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clear it out. It's under formulas tab, and then it's the name manager, and we want to delete it here. You can also edit it there. What that does, that clears it out of here. The next step here is where we're going to also clear out, go back to the Home tab, and we're going to go to Conditional Formatting, and we're going to go to Manage Rules, and we're going to go to this workbook, and we're going to also remove the code that makes this work. We're going to delete it, and we're going to apply. So now nothing happens when we type in information. Okay, so now let's go ahead and write the code in. The code here is simple. It says if an area is blank, look for search underscore, which is that name that we type up in this area. And if nothing is going on, do nothing. But if something happens, I want you to look at column A, B, C, and D and find what is being searched for. So this is how simple the code is. Okay, so let's begin to put things together. The first thing that we want to do is we want to go to cell 3, column C, row 3. It can be anywhere on here. It doesn't matter if it's A, B, or C. This is just the one that I've chosen for this tutorial. And we're going to give it the name. And the name that we're going to give it is, we're going to call it search underscore. Press enter. When you do that, no matter where you click within a cell, if you do the drop down, do search, it will automatically come back and populate or highlight that particular cell. Now that we have that established, let us go to conditioning, which is under your Home tab. We're going to go to New Rules, and we're going to go to Use a Formula to determine which cells to format. At this point, we're going to write what we see here. Equal, which initiates the formula. If, it's a clause here, and we're saying if the cell is blank, then we want it to search or look for that name, which is associated with column C, row 3. Close it with a parentheses. What we're telling it here now is that if you find that nothing is going on, do nothing. If the value is 0, do nothing. Now here's where we put that search function, which is in Office 2010. It may be in an earlier version. If you're using an earlier version, please let me know if it works or not so I can share it with my other subscribers. Also, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe and like and comment so I can continue to do this to help others. Now, we close it with a parentheses here and we type in that name, which is search underscore. Then we say comma. Now, this is where it gets interesting. At this point, what we want to do is we want to click on the cells that we wanted to identify when doing a search. So we want column A, row 8 to be identified. In order to have that highlight function where it highlights from A to D, what you must do is, in conditioning, you can't have the two $signs. You have to drop one of them in order for it to do that. So that's how you allow that to happen. And then we can't use comma, or we don't want to use where the colon, because it won't work. So in this instance here, we use the and symbol. And the and symbol says look at that, which is our column A, row 8, and then we want to look at column B, row 8, and we also, and you remember to put the and. We wanted to look at column C, row 8. Remember to drop that $, and we wanted to look at column D, row 8. Now that we have that established, let's close it with a parenthesis, close it with another parenthesis here. And the reason why we're closing it with two parentheses is because you got this parenthesis that begins this function, and then there's another parenthesis that starts another function, and so you need two to close it. Okay, then we're going to go to format, and then we're going to give it its color. We're going to also make the font bold, and we're going to turn the font white. Well, not white, yeah, white. And we're going to say OK. So it's going to look like this when you put in the search information and it looks for the content and say OK. We're not finished yet. Notice if I come back here and do a search, it's not going to do anything. Actually, it highlights the search box, which is not what you want it to do. So you come back to conditioning, go back to manage rules, and right here where it says applies to, you want to clear that out and say equal, and you want it to apply to column A to column D all the way down, or wherever you want to put it. It doesn't matter. Whatever area, search area you want, you highlight that. So in this case, we're going to do column A, row 8, and we're going to end it at column D, row 25, right here. And we're going to apply that and say OK. Now, once that's done, now when you type in a word, it should automatically pull it up. Well, wait a minute, nothing is happening. Why is that? Let's go back to our conditioning and look at the code and see what did we miss. So we got A8 to D25, and we did have the if and all that good stuff, and this is where the error is. You notice right here, for some reason it went and it picked A13. Reason why this won't work is because it's looking to A13 to start your search. So it could work, but it's not going to see anything from column A. It's going to see it from row 13 in column A. So let's just say if we typed in James, it would pick it up there, and it's screwy. It's not finding the content. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that whatever you highlight, whatever that starting point is, which is A8, you have to make sure that each one of these start at that starting point where you're highlighting in order for this code to work correctly. So that would be A8, it will be B8, C8, and D8. We'll say OK, apply, and there you go. Now the code works perfectly fine. So if we type in Sue, it'll pick it up. If we type in main, it'll pick it up. If we even type in NA, it will pick it up. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any question, you're welcome to inbox me, and I will follow up with you promptly. Thanks again, and I hope to see you on my next tutorial. Please subscribe. Have a good day.